Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 229 of the Battleship Brawl Season 3 tournament. This episode we've got the Kifaru by myself, going up against the Ngome by myself. The Ngome is on 9 battles. This thing has been in the tournament for freaking ever. It has been stuck at the top of the active field for so long. By far the longest ship in the tournament. It was like one of the first 4 or 5 ships introduced, and it lasted all the way until the end, just because of how I made the priority system, which will be fixed in future tournaments. There won't be any of that high win, low life limbo. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this battle underway, which should be interesting because they are very similar vessels. Like, they use almost the same gun. I mean, the Kifaru's gun is a modified Ngome cannon, and I have no idea where those shots are going. So many of those are aimed way too far. Ooh, and one hit landed directly on the Kifaru's gun, or the Ngome's gun. And those shells are going over again. Oh, hit to the superstructure tower. Ngome raining shells down. Oh, and those shells missed. Pretty even match so far. The Kifaru at 97.1, the Ngome at 98.6. Well, takes a hit to its most armored portion there, which, see, does almost nothing to the Ngome. The one thing the Ngome has is some pretty hefty armor there. Oh, Kifaru's fallen behind. Oh, it lost 2 of its rear guns and one of the barrels on one of the forward guns. It's now putting itself in a position where its forward guns are going to have difficulty firing out, but it's turning and coming about. Ooh, yeah, this gun has been taken down, it seems. Got hammered by the Kifaru's weaponry. Now the Ngome can really turn, can it? At least when its hull is mostly intact. Neither vessel is really being all that accurate at this moment. Too much distance for these cram cannons. Both ships doing too much turning. Looks like the Kifaru can't even aim. Its guns are not elevating. It means the Ngome is too far away, but the Ngome is quite able to fire on the Kifaru. Oh, well. There we go. It got some shots off, but they fell way short. Oh, direct hit to the top of the superstructure there. Blew off those improperly placed, coincidence rangefinders. Kifaru doing a bit of wiggling there with the twitchy AI. Ngome's trying to hit something in the rear portion of the Kifaru, which is underwater. That's making that quite tricky. Kifaru has fallen behind by about, oh wow, something big just got hit there. There must have been some turret left under here and it just got popped. Yep, there it is. So all of a sudden it lost a ton of hit points. Kifaru down to 71.7%, Ngome at 82.1%. Kifaru swinging that forward gun around. Glad I got those firing restrictions set up properly. It does not leave the guns sitting in unusable positions for very long. Kifaru definitely having some issues here. Oh, that shell's gonna land right in the bow. Did a bunch of damage, but did not quite get through to the turret. Oh, the Kifaru is almost completely underwater, but not getting an 80% sinking despawn. But really, the Kifaru should be really should be just sinking at this point. Oh, Ngome took some hits there. Looks like the tactical hat protecting this rear turret did its job, kept the gun alive. Kifaru has almost no propulsion left. It has this one propeller, or no, it has 3 propellers back here. And they are barely connected to the ship anymore. And now they are even less connected to the ship. Yeah, but it does not look like the Kifaru is going to be able to pull off a surprise win here. I kind of expected it to lose to the Ngome. I expected it to lose to the Iron Goliath, but that didn't happen. And you know what? Since it should have faced the Ngome first anyway, I changed the order, and this loss would have caused it to be eliminated from the tournament. I'm just going to go ahead and, if the Kifaru loses here, call it eliminated, even though it technically has half a life left. Because that means the regular season will finally be over. Every vessel will have been retired. And then we get to move on to the postseason, which is gonna be fantastic. But we will have to wait a week. A week from today, I will have the voting, the Hall of Beauty voting and such will be done, and thus we will know who is going to be participating in the postseason. It all depends on all depends on the numbers. I haven't yet fully decided how many people are going to participate, but you rest assured that it will be all of our better looking ships. Oh, and there we go. The Kifaru is despawning, so this battle is over. I am going to go ahead and call it retired here, because if I just done this battle in the first place, then it would have lost, and then, yeah, it would have been eliminated. So, the regular season is officially over, folks. We're going to do a quick cut here. I'm going to do a very brief Hall of Beauty look at the Kifaru. Mainly just going to spawn it in and show off the paint job as it's supposed to be, and then we will go ahead and do the champion look at the Kifaru. Yeah, so it's been a long journey, folks, but we're finally there. The regular season is over. Okay, folks, so here we are. This is the Kifaru. This is what she's actually supposed to look like, which isn't a whole lot better than what she looked like in the battles, but it is something. I did put some paint on this thing, but because I did it in fleet colors, yeah, it ended up being a banana. Anyway, there's not a whole lot to see to her. I've got this stupid wooden thing up here. I do have a smokestack that I put some fire in here and smoke blocks and whatnot. And it does actually, the engines do actually exhaust up through there. But yeah, that's about the niftiest feature this ship has. So yeah, if you think it deserves a place in the Hall of Beauty, upvote the comment down below that says it, to induct it. If you don't, don't. And that'll be it for the Kifaru. Let's go ahead and scrap it. And we're going to move on to the Ngome. Which this ship was in the tournament for so friggin' long. And as you can see, it's painted in the same colors, but I remembered to not paint it in fleet colors. Actually, I think I did paint it in fleet colors first when I originally made the ship, but then I realized my mistake and actually had time to fix it. But yeah, this ship not only works a lot better, performed a lot better than the Kifaru, because I had more time to work on it. I had a lot more time to work on this thing. I spent weeks on this ship. So yeah, it's got a V-shaped hull going down. It doesn't go quite all the way down to where it has a point. It does have a flat bottom of wood. Got the well, I guess a proper way to say it would be it has a diamond-shaped hull. And this is, like, the bow is just wood. Doesn't have any, oh wait, it has, some... Did I put alloy on it? Oh yeah, I used alloy in the bow. Some. Which, looking back on it, alloy and stone? Wait, there was just a stone block here, but nowhere else? Or was that the... I could have sworn I saw a stone beam. Oh well, whatever. But let's go ahead and keep to the standard thing. So as you can see, the Ngome does 16.5 meters per second. A decently fast vessel. Not super fast, but fast enough. And then the turn rate is not bad. It turns pretty quick. It seemed to be turning faster in the battle, like against the Kifaru, than what it's doing right now. Not sure why that was, but you know, it turns pretty sharp. It turns pretty quick and in a small space, despite its large size and decent speed. And that's a product of all these dang rudders back here, just in a straight line, basically. And do I have front rudders on this? I don't think I do. I don't remember putting front rudders on it, but I might have. Yep, nope, that's with pure rear rudders. It can turn like that, which is pretty nice. And then there are these things that I put facing the wrong friggin' direction. They're staring straight up into the sky and never see a dang thing. Because they should have been, like this. But the laser rangefinder saw, which is probably why it had some accuracy issues, because these things are not the most accurate. It's just a tracker. Or do these have good accuracy? I forget. Angular error 1 degree, range error 0.1%. So it's got good range, but bad angular error. Whereas these, yeah. See, if these two had been working together instead of only the laser one working, they would have been a bit more accurate. But I mean, I can't complain too much. It did make it into the Hall of Champions. We've got this superstructure, which it is walkable, the superstructure itself, but there's not a whole lot to see inside it. But you can go all the way up to the top here, and then there's a ladder that goes up into the very top of the crow's nest there. So you can get from all the way down here on the deck up to the crow's nest. And you've got the guns here with their little casemates, which did a lot to protect them in the tournament. I was very happy with how these little bits of armor, because these are not part of the turret. These are actually part of the hull, and then the turret is right here. See, there's hull, then turret. And they just kind of rotate in there, and I was quite happy with how they look and how they perform in the tournament. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at the armor. If I can push the right button. There we go. So the underside here looks like I've got it 3 metal beams and then stone. Oh, do I really have it that heavy? I do. The underside armor here. Well, it's on the upper part. I think I cut it off. Yeah. Down. Oh, it's way down here. So from here up, it's got a heavy armor beam. Oh, this only has wood. But from here up, it's heavy armor beam, stone, then metal, and then have alloy on the outside to make it a little lighter and have a bit more flotation. Probably not the best decision. I should have made it out of wood. I could have then used those materials to make things stronger. I used way too much alloy on this thing, but I only used alloy in slopes, like the sloped blocks. Everything else is metal and wood and stone and whatnot. But I probably should have just gone with wood instead of alloy, because really these alloy slopes are not going to survive the kinetic damage of a cram impact. And the buoyancy they provide is not, I mean, it's nice, but you know, a wood block provides plus 27.7, alloy provides 32.6. That's not a huge difference, and it would have saved me a bunch of materials. So that was probably an error on my part. If I had changed all the alloy to wood, except maybe on the superstructure, the superstructure is all alloy as well. If I changed all of that to wood, I might have been able to fit a 5th gun on here. But yeah, the armor on the Ngome is quite heavy. It's got the alloy, or on the upper parts, it's actually metal. But really should have been wood, because these sloped blocks are not going. They only have 560 health. They are not going to survive the kinetic damage of a cram impact, even with armor backing it. You know, like heavy armor and such backing it. They're just not going to survive the kinetic hit. Because like a 2-meter cram shell is still going to have like 2,000 damage and about 5 AP, which means it's going to do about 500 damage to a metal block just from the kinetics, which is going to destroy these sloped blocks pretty easily. I mean, they've got piddly little health. I mean, okay, maybe they might survive when they've got heavy armor and a whole bunch of metal backing them, but really, it should have just been wood. It wouldn't have made a huge difference. It would have saved a whole bunch of materials doing that. But anyway, yeah, this little curved bulge part here is a pretty thick armor, but it's mostly meant to protect against explosives, not penetrations, because there's just an empty space in here, which I could have filled in more if I had more materials, but I used alloy too much and ran out of materials. But it's just a slope block, and then there's a couple of metal beams lengthwise, and then, oh wait, oh no, I changed it, that's right. They're all lengthwise, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At its thickest point, looks like it's about, oh, at the water line here, it's 1, 2, 3, oh, this is all, wait, why is there wood here? Wow, I messed that up, that's not supposed to be wood. But anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 meters thick of metal at this point, and that's why you see like this ship takes hits on this part of the armor, and that armor just kind of ignores it a lot of the time. It's pretty. You have to hit it quite a few times to do any serious damage to this armor. And then down here, once you get below this deck, you've got the heavy armor here. It's encasing. Well, that heavy armor is just to protect against explosions that detonate on the inner part here from hitting the gun. And then it goes down here, and then you've got the below armor is basically the same, except it's got stone instead of metal filling it in. So it's heavy armor back. It's a heavy armor beam backing it, like a full beam, backing it by 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of stone and 1 layer of metal there, and then 2 layers. It's 4 layers of stone and then metal out further the further it gets. So at its thickest, it's the alloy slope, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 meters of metal, and then if I was actually in the citadel part, it would be 4 meters of stone backed by heavy armor. So this thing is heavily armored, at least in the citadel portion. The bow and the stern, not so much. They're basically just a single layer thick of alloy triangle blocks. So they get blown apart pretty easily. We've seen that. We saw that happen in a couple battles, and those fell apart and took out a lot of hit points. But anyway, yeah, if you feel the Ngome deserves a place in the Hall of Beauty, go ahead and upvote the comment down below that says to induct it. If you don't, you know, upvote the comment that says don't, just like every other vessel. And that's it. We are done with the regular season, folks. There is nothing left. we're going to be moving into the postseason next week once all of the Hall of Beauty votes get a chance to come in. And we'll see who's going to be participating in that. I'll probably have that list out either next Tuesday or next Wednesday. We'll see exactly when I get that finished. And yeah, until then, starting tomorrow, there's going to be some bonus content videos of extra battles between certain ships and different things. One of them is already up on my Patreon. The bonus battles for the hiatus between the postseason and the preseason, or the regular season and the postseason are not going to get locked behind my Patreon for a week. I'm just going to post them out. But in the future, you know, I plan on doing more of those bonus battles. Maybe doing some of the ones that people requested on the forums that don't get done before the postseason starts. And if you'd like to see those, go ahead and click that link down below for my Patreon and consider throwing a couple bucks my way. And you'll get to see those a week before everybody else, and get some other things like being able to suggest bonus battles for me to do, and tournament types, and you know, it's all on there in the Patreon. So yeah, I'm gonna stop begging for money now. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.